Are we all chocolated up yet? Yeah. Now I'm going to do something a bit different. Even the people who are running the show don't know I'm going to do this. We're all going to get up. We're not going to do a cooking demo. I've got myself a nice little cafe over here. So we're all going to go over and buy some lunch now. I'm like so super I can put my hand on it, not burn myself. It's actually not plugged in. But we, just so you know, when we're melting the chocolate, this would here be this would represent our water, which is just below boiling. And when you're melting chocolate, of course, you don't have the chocolate bowl touching the water as well. So just bear that in mind. I will need a bit of a volunteer later as well. So don't be shy. No pressure, but if you mess your job up, nobody gets any samples. So there you go. We'll all have a sample at the end, and we'll even have a bit of a competition. And 4 people will win like a glass full, if you haven't had enough chocolate already. Just a bit about this recipe. I usually do this for high tea. If you look at your picture, the mousse itself is actually sitting in some chocolate cups. So that's just tempered chocolate. So we have these nice crispy shells. We do an amaretto liqueur inside. So it's very, very, very almondy. Now, where I get my almond flavour from, and I'm going to pass this around now. My chocolate, by the way, has just been melted with the butter. That's in the recipe. And in here, I have almond tea. Now, the almond tea has come from Teetotal. I've used Teetotal a lot at home, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's not just because they're here and they're paying me because they're not. It's a choice to use it. You can buy the almond tea online. They have a lot of other teas. They're here in the corner as well. So basically, you get your coffee grinder and you grind the tea like you would coffee. And then we're going to melt it in with the chocolate. You can be as generous as you like as well. If you like it really strong almond flavour, add more, you know, it's as simple as that. So basically it smells delicious, I love this. This is actually, if you're on a bit of a diet as well, have a cup of tea with this almond tea after your dinner. It's like nice enough to act as a bit of a dessert, but obviously you don't add sugar in you good, you know. So I'm just putting 4-ish tablespoons in there. And I'll start here, if you want to. So we'll incorporate this fully. And then as I've started doing here, this is the reason why I haven't got it over boiling water. You just want your chocolate to cool slightly before adding the egg yolks. Now something I love doing is adding egg yolks into chocolate. Like the swirl, the yellow and the brown looks pretty cool. So we've got the egg yolks in here. We'll just pop them in. And we'll just incorporate these and you'll see the little swirls that's going in. Looks amazing. Meanwhile, while your chocolate has been melting, what you've already done is you've whipped cream so that we've got nice soft peaks. I'm not going to put this over my head. That's a silly test. And then we've got our egg whites, which I've started to whisk, because at the end of the day, you don't want to stand there and watch a chef whisk egg whites. It's not fun. There's a lot of chocolate out there to be conquered. So you want to get here, sit down and get out of here as quick as you can. So I'll keep whisking this. As I mentioned yesterday to everyone, I don't know why for the life of me I didn't bring an electric whisk. So I've been whisking away with the egg whites and the cream, and I'll do the same again this afternoon. And don't learn my lesson, yeah. It's a strange method that I use, sorry. So we'll do it, and this is where we need a volunteer. So I'll put the right amount in. 60 grams-ish, there you go. So what you're going to do, we'll add more if we need to. You're just going to slowly pour this in while I whisk, right? I'll tell you if you're going too slow or too fast. Lumps and all here, I'll mix it in. Too fast, slow down. Oh, stop. Right, we have to, right, you've got to remember that we're in front of people. So you want to tip it so that everyone can see. You're live. You're live. You don't need to see. I'll let them see, right? If we go too fast, the egg whites will collapse and we won't have a nice fluffy mousse, which nearly happened yesterday, all right? No pressure. Slowly. That's good, that's perfect. Keep that going, yeah. I'll break the lumps as they go in. There we go, got it, keep going. Faster, slower, faster. Keep going. We're gonna add all of this. Yeah, keep going, there we go. That's it, that's perfect. Oh, this has gone well. This has gone really well. Have you done this before? So how long have you been at the shop? Oh, sorry, I forgot everyone else was there, sorry. I forgot. Keep going, don't stop. if you stop, my arm's getting too tired and we won't be able to make this anymore. We've got a little bit more sugar, more sugar, more sugar. Oh, you don't like lumps, I'll take that one out for you. You know, my chefs don't complain this much, you know. My chefs don't complain this much. This will be good. Keep going, all of that and it will be good. So what you'll see when I'll show you in a sec, the difference, what we'll have here. Before we had our fluffy egg whites, and now what we have here is shiny egg whites. So you just get that gloss, that nice silkiness on it, and then we know that our egg whites are ready, okay? Perfect, thank you very much. Nah, that's okay. Massive round of applause, it looks like you like it. I hate palm oil, basically. So I managed to, my previous job, it was the first palm oil-free eatery, from top to bottom, chemicals to law, everything. The hard part was getting there. Once we were there, it's easy. It's just like any other restaurant then. The liqueur now, the Vu restaurant especially, the bar, room service and dinner menus are all palm oil free. We're part of a big group, so I'm working on the chemicals at the moment, the cleaning chemicals. But for those who don't know, palm oil basically, it's in everything. Everything. The less processed foods you eat, the less your palm oil will be eating. Also, it's in candles, chemicals, makeups, everywhere. Basically 54 rugby fields worth of trees are chopped down every hour, mainly in Malaysia and Indonesia. There aren't enough Sumatran orangutans left in the world to fill one goal end of Eden Park. So we're on the brink. A little old me doesn't make a difference, but the movement's definitely growing. I do in-home dining, and I always finish by in the dessert saying, you know, everything you've eaten is palm oil free. And I've been really happy, as I've been doing it through the years, A, the more people know, and B, the more people are saying, oh, my kids will love that because we learned that in the zoo. So I think there's a bit of hope. Maybe too late, we'll find out. Yeah, so if you need to know more, I've actually written an article in Nourish magazine next month. That gives you a bit of tips on how to become palm oil free. We went to have breakfast with the orangutans, and that's where I learned about it. And it's grown and grown from there. Some of the images you can see online are pretty gruesome, but you know it's all true, so you have to look at it. We're gonna finish our mousse now, and then we get to taste in classic. I use about 5 bowls in this recipe. Now I like to make it complicated at the end, because why not? And you actually don't just mix it all together. The more processes you can do, the more aerated it's going to be as well. So we're going to put our chocolate into a large bowl. And from here on in, you don't want to use a whisk. If you use a whisk now, you're actually going to knock out all the air. So we've got our chocolate, butter and egg in here all melted. We're going to add in 1/3 of the cream. And probably half of the whites. Beautiful. And we're just going to incorporate this nicely. This is another part that I like. You get to nicely see it all coming together, you know. It's beautiful. There we go. Excellent. So before I just made all my little talk then, did everyone know about palm oil before that? Yeah. See, it never used to be like that. A few years ago, it was what's palm oil to the whites. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run out the door and leave a big bowl of mousse here, because once I put the samples up, everyone just charges. So, and I'm going to ask some questions now. So I hope you've been listening, because 4 people are going to win a glass. Now, there's no fair way of doing this. Just the loudest person to yell is probably going to win. You want to leave this either overnight, or if you're having a dinner party, make it in the morning and let it set in the fridge. If you eat this now, it'll taste amazing. I would say that. But it'll be like eating like air bubbles, you know, like because of all that egg whites, you know, it needs to set and come together. Thankfully for you guys, I do have some that we did make earlier. So we can all taste this one together. And I believe that's the end. That's all.